You're watching my favorite YouTube channel, Chillmonger. I hope this comic book news is not true. It's from the movies. Exiled Scooper says that Captain Marvel 3, aka The Marvels 2, Scoops. It's so worrisome for him to do that. We know that the Brave New World movie, which is starring Falcon Sam Wilson, is being called Captain America 4 by some people. So I'm worried that a Captain Marvel 4 would just mean like Monica Rambeau now calling herself Captain Marvel. Please don't celebrate that. Monica Rambeau deserves to have her own name with her own brand. She's got her own power set, her own skills. Forget that a comic book in 1982 debuted her with the name Captain Marvel. There were multiple people before her who used the name Captain Marvel, so it wasn't an original thing for her then. It's not empowering. It's a nasty, let's keep the copyright tactic, and they called her that. I'm so grateful that Monica Rambeau in comics no longer goes by that name and has her own identity. And it is to the benefit of the character of Monica to be identified by the masses. And by the masses, I mean that there's millions of people who watch comic book movies. Millions, possibly even 1 billion. There are only in the thousands of people reading comics who even know that thing. And I don't want them to see Monica as a secondary version of Carol Danvers. You see, I'm not using the aliases. I'm not using Captain Marvel or Photon. I don't want the character that is Monica Rambeau secondary to the character who was Carol Danvers. I'm fearful. I think they just stripped the name of Monica Rambeau. They did shoot a scene where she would say what her alias is. And it's probably because, we got some issues with Brie Larson, huh? Or she's playing hardball. She's not going to be in this movie or in the press. She's not going to do all of the things we needed to do. Fine. We don't even need her. There's another character who can be the Captain Marvel brand. What the fuck is Marvel? And what is the captain of Marvel? There is no actual Marvel city, state. There's no task or there's no responsibility associated with being Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is literally just a bunch of letters on a page that they call it with an alias. It alludes to nothing. There's no one who's like, I'm a Marvel and I need a captain. Who is it going to be? It's Carol. It's Monica. It's got no storyline meaning behind being called Captain Marvel. The reason why Monica stopped being called Captain Marvel and the reason why Carol Danvers started being called Captain Marvel is not related to anything. There was no conversation between the two when they said, all right, I've been holding it down for Marvel, but you can be the captain now. It's an alias. It's a nothing thing. The best for Monica now and in 1980s, the best for her is to have her own name and not be called something that other people were called. So they called it Captain Marvel 3, aka The Marvels 2, and that triggered something in here, and I spoke on it. There's no date set on this movie. Okay. I'm worried. I'm worried that this will even happen. I don't know how a movie can gross 200 million, and they can go, well, then we'll do a sequel. So, okay, there's no date set. Listen to this plot. Captain Marvel deals with the aftermath of Secret Wars in the new changed world, changed universe. That makes sense. She's someone who can travel to different planets. We can get a perspective all over. That's always useful in a world, in a cinematic universe where all of the projects should be attached. So maybe we'll get insight. I say maybe like it's going to happen. It's not going to happen. Insight on Guardians, insight on Thor, insight on some of the Nova might have popped off by then. But we'll kind of get a grasp of what's happening everywhere. Maybe a Celestial will show up. But let's be real, they've been keeping things isolated, even though it's a world that should be attached. For the most part, a lot of the writers have no idea what's happening in another project from another project. It takes place in the new soft rebooted MCU. Yes, Secret Wars. We all know that Battle World will exist. Universes won't exist anymore. And so when the heroes win, they'll say, hey, Beyonder, hey, Galactus, hey, Doctor Doom, hey, person who's got Infinity Stones, hey, you, powerful person that we just defeated, and we have power. Fix the universe, but make it where Tony Stark lives. Make it so where T'Challa lives. Make it so that this never happened and that never happened. Make it so that there's mutants now. Make it so that there's vampires now. We know, that's the soft reboot. Mr. Marvel will appear. Does that mean Marvel, the Kree warrior? Unlike Dr. Wendy Lawson? Huh? The villain is Rogue. And that's the part that makes you go, okay, they can most certainly sell us on a movie with this character of Captain Marvel, Brie Larson's character, Carol. They can sell us on Carol another go around if she's fighting Rogue. That's something that you go, no matter what happened last year in that box office failure, it's been enough time. This is the story people have been clamoring for. What happens when Rogue puts her fingers on Captain Marvel? What happens if she does it again? Because, the movie might build up and it might start off with her taking her power. Ooh, I liked how that felt. And Carol Danvers, maybe she's out for like a week, but she's back. Don't let her touch me. And they just play tag for a whole 2-hour movie. That's a plot. That's what I'm talking about. That you sold. Yes, a Captain Marvel movie featuring Rogue as the villain. That's what I'm talking about. Call it Captain Marvel, not The Marvels. Will be released in the first phase of the Mutant Saga. Does that mean phase 6? Phase Saga. Blah, blah. If you ask me, my commentary on this is they said Infinity Saga in 2019 at that Comic-Con. And we never heard that term before. Phases 1 to 3 are Infinity Saga. Then they said, well, this right here is the Multiverse Saga. Unfortunately, they called the saga. We don't need saga. Don't restrict yourself with a term like that, which would mean that all of your movies will have to deal with this one thing, the multiverse, or TV shows of the multiverse. Don't tell me it's a mutant saga. Just do the movies. Nickname them phases, fine, have fun with it. Do whatever you want to do with that. Mutant Saga is a mistake. Please don't call it the Mutant Saga. Don't call it anything. All right. Exiled Scooper is coming with his words, with his announcement. The most serious thing about this is that it means Carol Danvers, Brie Larson, she's got this really strong contract and she was promised to lead in X amount of movies, and she will. And this is the next one up for her. No matter how poor the performance was of the first movie, it didn't matter. Ironclad contracts. Shout out to Mahershala Ali and Blade, because I'm sure he probably has the same thing, where there's a set amount of movies he's been promised, and even when the studio relationship is rocky, as it should be with Brie Larson, the way that they've been treating her, like pulling her from the title of the second movie, diminishing her role, from the way that she's been experiencing Marvel Studios, and they're still doing the movie with her, according to the scoop, if it's believed to be true, then no, that Mahershala Ali contract's probably pretty strong too. You've been watching Chillmonger. I'm out. Continue boycotting Israeli products. Download the No Thanks app.
There's a new app called No Thanks. It's on iOS and Android, and it lets anybody, anywhere, scan the barcode of any product to see whether or not that product is on the boycott for Israel list.
So we made it, and we're going to scan this Tropicana juice to see if it's on the boycott list or not. And looks like it is, so we're going to have to find some different juice to get. They actually include proof to why the product's on the boycott list. It looks like this is part of SodaStream, an Israeli company. But let's see if this chocolate is on the boycott list, and it looks like it's not, and we're good.
So if you don't want to spend your money on a genocide, download the app right now. If you don't want to send your money to companies profiting off of genocide, download the app right now. If you want to support and stand in solidarity with Palestinians, download the app right now.
And recast T'Challa.